All right, everybody. My name is Spooky. Today we're talking about the Season 20 Stadium tier list for heroes. Now, competitive Stadium is still kind of wonky right now. Matches are still very wide as far as skill goes, and there's not really a clear-cut form on what things are good right now. Like, we can't even really trust the leaderboards right now. So this is going to be really subjective to my opinion, what I experience. For some background, I'm usually either a master / GM type player. So that's kind of the elo I'm probably playing around for Stadium. So this is going to be based on my perspective of that kind of matchmaking rank, that MMR, that area of people that I'm playing against is what this is going to be based off of. So anyways, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Let's start with D.Va. So this season, I've seen D.Va a little bit. I've seen kind of both. I've seen like good and bad D.Vas. The thing is that I think it's kind of situational on where D.Va can get, and she can get really hard countered right now by quite a few things. Either Sigma, Zarya, even Winston can kind of chunk through her right now. So I'm probably gonna be putting D.Va down in probably the C category. She's not one of the better tanks, I would say. If you know how to play D.Va really well, that does not mean you can't play D.Va. I think it's just a hero right now that you just need to be very fluent in to get a lot of value with her. So that's why I'm going to put her down in the C category. Junker Queen is I'd say kind of in the same boat. She can get really hard countered right now by a lot of things, but she also can absolutely run lobbies if she gets into the correct matchup as far as the game goes. So I'm going to put Junker Queen in the B category because she's kind of like D.Va in the fact that she can't get hard countered. But again, like I said, if she goes against the certain if she goes against the right kind of like comp, then she can really cook. And I've seen it. It's not too bad. There's a lot of really good builds out there right now, especially AoE stuff. Orisa got a buff, and man, oh my god, I've been seeing so much Orisa, and she's pretty good. She's got great survivability now. She's got great healing. They buffed her 2 insane items that give her just crazy damage. So I'm probably gonna put Orisa up as far as tanks go. I think she's definitely up in the A, and I'm only putting her A right now because there's another tank that I think belongs in the S category right now. So I'm gonna put her right there because there's very clearly they're not really on the same playing field right now. I think one is clear cut better than her, so I'm gonna leave her in the A category right now. Reinhardt's in a weird spot right now. I still see Ryan doing pretty okay, but again, there's so much like CC and like Freya got buffed again. So she is even better. Shield Buster obviously got buffed to like 50%. So I think Ryan is in a weird spot right now, where he's really reliant on his shield, and there's so much that takes out his shield that he can kind of get wrecked pretty quickly. So I'm actually going to be putting him probably down in the B category. He's still got some pretty solid builds that he can use, especially like the AP. Swing's a little rough right now. As far as like getting in close and swinging with his hammer, but I see Reinhardt's. I see them win games, so it's not like he's unplayable right now. I think he's just a little bit worse than he was before, right? Because he used to be like an A or S tier tank in Stadium for a while, so I think he got knocked down a little bit. Now, speaking of S tier tanks, we're putting Sigma up in the S tier. So unfortunately for me, I made this video, and then 2 hours later, they dropped a pretty significant update to Stadium. For a lot of these heroes, as you may or may not know. Most of these aren't changing, but I do want to talk about specifically Sigma. Obviously, I put in S tier here at first, and they actually, in my opinion, kind of gutted him a little bit. The things that gave him options to play around melee-based heroes, such as Junker Queen, Reinhardt, even like Winston, who makes it a little bit harder to chase him. His fly got gutted from 4 seconds to 1.5 seconds, which is just terrible. Absolutely terrible. The power's dead. Now it doesn't mean that he's bad now. It just means that he's going to get absolutely run over now by melee based characters. He still can output pretty solid damage, but he doesn't have enough options. Again, we're back in the same boat before where he was having issues with Reinhardt and Junker Queen before. We are back yet again to the same thing. So technically, I'm going to be moving Sigma probably down to like at this point. I'm not even kidding. Maybe even the B at this point. A is being a little bit generous. B, if he's playing against melee based, I just don't see him being that good of a matchup right now. They absolutely gutted him. Didn't really touch his damage too much. which honestly I thought would have been what they would have touched first, was the damage output he could do instead of his fly-in mobility. But, you know, here we are. So Sigma, B. All right, let's go on to Winston. I think Winston, last season with his cooldown reduction build, was S tier. I haven't been seeing people run Winston as much with the season start. I don't think that's because they haven't been, they think he's bad. I think it's just they've been trying out some different builds. And I still don't think the community really knows about how insanely good cooldown reduction Winston is just yet. So for safety, I'm going to put him in the A tier. I think there's still the possibility he could be S with cooldown reduction. Even with the new shield salvage slugs that does the 50% shield damage, I think that's a great counter to the cooldown reduction Winston build because he relies on that bubble a lot. But I'm going to put him in here for now just because I do think Sig has been a standout so far in the first week and a half. So I'm going to put him down there. Zarya is another hero, kind of like D.Va, where she's playable. I don't see her run lobbies that much. In certain matchups, she can really cook, right? Especially against like Orisa sometimes, but especially D.Va. She has like her comps that she like hard counters. But I don't think she's really gonna be matching up with like Reinhardt, Queen, Winston. I don't think she's up here just yet. I don't think she's up in there. But it's been a while, right? She came out swinging strong in season, like when it launched, she was OP. But she's kind of been spending her time down here a little bit, so gonna put her in C. Ashe received some buffs, and I've been seeing Ashe everywhere. Ashe. AP build is still pretty good. I've been seeing a lot more weapon power builds. People are running weapon power and just doing insane burst damage. Has been crazy. And I think she's probably gonna be the first DPS I put up in the S category right now because her wide amount of range that she can get value on. There's the zooming again. She can get a really wide range on value in just about any single matchup. So she's like really good into just about everything. Very rarely getting hard counter. You can build into whatever you want. Get some pretty solid value. And again, this is just my opinion from what I've seen. The value I've seen from Ashe players, I think is going to be earning her the S spot. And right alongside her, which I would probably say this is kind of an iffy one too. I've been thinking about putting Cassidy up in the S category. He's got some pretty insane builds right now, but I don't think he has as much. He has diversity in builds, but I don't think he has as much flexibility as Ashe right now. He definitely at least earns the A tier slot right now. Cassidy's builds that he has, like the Deadeye build, the High Noons build that we posted here recently. Obviously just pure weapon damage. The Flashbang build is just cooking mobility right now. He definitely earns the A tier spot, but I think he can still get kind of dunked on a little bit, especially by Cass and Ashe. Or not Cass, sorry. Sigma and Ashe can really cook him a little bit right now. So I'm going to put him down in the A tier category. But again, if you play Cassidy, this is definitely the time to play him in Stadium. Freya, obviously, personally, I would love to put her in the S tier category because she is extremely annoying, especially in like the highest tier players. If you hand Freya in Stadium to like a top 500 player that plays Freya, there's nothing you can do. There is nothing you can do about that match. They are going to run the lobby, especially if they have a Mercy. And like 9 times out of 10, if somebody locks Freya, they're going to have a Mercy. And I'm seeing her more and more lately. I could see how she can be A though, because again, this depends on like how good you are at the game. Like if you're a top 500 Freya player, you are going to be S tier no matter what. If you're like a Masters player, that's someone that knows how to play Freya for the most part, A tier. If you're a Platinum player that's touched Freya a couple times, it's gonna be B. If you're like a Gold player and you don't know who Freya is, or like whatever, it's gonna be C. So it's like it's so all over the place. For my sanity, I'm gonna at least put her in the A tier because again, I've been preaching about it since she launched. She is running a high tier Stadium right now. She is absolutely running it, and thank God it's taken this long for people to pick up on it. I'm gonna keep screaming it from the rooftops. Freya with Mercy in Stadium right now is extremely out of control. And if you're a Freya player and you want to find a Mercy duo and you just want to get free wins, lock it, dude. Go for it. It's going to give me an aneurysm, but like I'm here to tell you about what's the best things in Stadium. And right now she's up there. And if you're a Masters Plus DPS player that knows how to play Freya really well, you're going to run Stadium right now. So enjoy. Let's talk about Genji for a little bit. Genji is probably the first DPS I'm gonna put down the C right now. Every Genji player I've seen has been struggling to get consistent value. That doesn't mean they can't do really good plays right now. I've been seeing Genji players like get some good ultimates, right? And they invest a lot in their AP. But like as far as like overall DPS, I haven't really been seeing Genji run lobbies too much like he used to. So I'm gonna put him down the C category. He feels right at home with Diva and Zarya right now. We could see a little resurgence with Genji here soon. Junkrat again is a really weird one. There's two kinds of Junkrat players. There's the average Junkrat player who's going to belong in the D category because Junkrat is just he's got good builds. All right, I'm not gonna say it's bad builds. He's just so easily countered right now that it's usually a bad pick. Now, if you're a Junkrat, if you're one of the Junkrat Mafia people that have been playing Junkrat for 10 years, I've been seeing them carry as much as like the number one Freya player. There's nothing you can do about it. So I'm gonna put him safely probably in the B category right now, just because he has potential. It just requires that skill to get up in there. Now, as far as Mei goes, I am a Mei player through and through. I do enjoy Mei, but I still am probably going to put her down in the C category right now, maybe B. But she doesn't have a lot of the strength that you need from a lot of the options. Someone that's been playing her for 10 years, I am right now, I'm still like, it takes a lot of effort to match up to a lot of the other DPS picks right now. Even Junkrat I would put above her right now because obviously Salvage Slugs, that 50% damage also does affect her walls. If you do an AP build and somebody grabs that, your walls are gone. You're not getting value anyways. If you go weapon power, you're basically restricted to just doing close range engagements. And she's kind of rough. And poke is inconsistent sometimes, depending. Especially now, a lot of people are running dive and flyers, so she's kind of sitting a little bit lower on the C category. If you're not like really fluent on Mei, this is probably not the time to play her in Stadium. If you are familiar with Mei, definitely doable. It's going to be an uphill battle, though, for you for the most of the season. Till they make some changes. Pharah. I think I'm going to put Pharah back in the probably next to Mei here with a C. I see her every now and then. Sometimes she can run the lobby. Sometimes she doesn't. Most people are running it. It's a struggle. It's just as much of a struggle. She's kind of in the same boat as Mei with her build diversity. Her build diversity is pretty low right now, so she can't really like do much more outside of like her mini barrage. Well, even mini barrage kind of sucks. Her homing rocket's pretty good sometimes. You get a good mercy with it. You can probably go up to the B category here. But again, she can get shut down pretty quick if you have a team that's just like somewhat knows about Overwatch at all. If you have a team that like generally they know how to play Overwatch, Pharah can get dealt with. The problem is when you get matched up with teams that don't know how to handle Freya Mercy, especially if it's like a Master Freya or Master Pharah in Mercy player, and you have like a gold or a silver or plat, whatever. They don't know how to deal with the movement, the pressure, and stuff like that. Then it can be a little bit more of a struggle. But I think Pharah overall is going to belong in the C right now. Reaper. I want to put him in C as well because he can do really well. But it's specific matchups. Like he can do really good weapon power. His AP builds suck. There's no reason to play him right now. He has one viable build, and he's teetering on me for D. He's teetering on me for my first D pick here because like Reaper is just like tough. He really is tough, and you can pick him, and then you can know when the match starts that you're gonna lose with Reaper, which is kind of disheartening. I feel like every other hero on here you can build a little bit, have a little bit of a chance. If you're Reaper and they pick like Freya Mercy, you know, and they have like maybe like a Zarya, like you're gonna be cooked. He's not great right now. He is not great. So the only reason I'm putting him in C is because I've seen Reapers do really well in certain matches. They've carried the lobby, but it's few and far between. Soldier, I think it's going to go up into the A category. Great burst damage. Great options for damage right now. A lot of the stuff, especially with like Shield Buster right now. Sorry, I keep saying Shield Buster. I mean Salvage Slugs. He has a lot of options. Auto Lock's really good. The Helix Rockets is still good. He can do a lot of frontline builds. He's got a lot of sustain. He's got a lot of movement. I've been seeing Soldier players do pretty well. Definitely not S tier right now. Definitely not S tier, but a good, solid, all-around person to play in Stadium right now is Soldier. Ana. Now, I haven't got to play too much Ana yet. I've been seeing a few Ana players. She does still have a couple good builds. We've posted 2 that are still very viable right now. The jump shot Ana build and the nanonade or the brawl Ana build are both very good, but a little bit niche. You can do some like weapon power builds. I've been seeing a lot of the rework actually didn't do too bad with a lot of the builds that she has now. So I'm probably going to put her up in the B category. I've been seeing more people play her and getting some pretty solid value on it. Nades can always obviously be good. She's definitely moved up from where she was previous. And I would probably say the previous seasons, she was a C level hero. So she's definitely moved up from that, in my opinion. Brig is still pretty good. Still pretty good. I probably would have put her up in like an A support. She's kind of teetering on B as well right now. But for the sake of making sure we have a clear difference between Ana and Brig, I do think Brig is a better pick than Ana. She's got better build diversity. She's got she can get value very easily, either with a brawl build or with the Pax build. Either you can play back or you can play forward. You have the options to do both, and both of them do a really good job at getting value. So I think Brig's definitely sitting up there. We see a lot of Brig players in Stadium right now. There's a reason, is because she's easy. I don't want to say easy to play, easier to get value on, because her builds kind of do the work for you right now. Is where she is. You just got to know the right builds to play, which again, if you don't know any good Brig builds, I've got plenty for you. So make sure to check out my channel for that. Juno did receive some buffs. I don't think she's OP either. I don't think she's earning the A tier. I don't think she's down in the C tier. She's probably definitely right next to Ana. She's a good pick. She's not bad. You're gonna have to put in your work to get like some really good value with her. Like her torpedo build isn't broken anymore. Her crit shot is nice, but it's not like game changing right now. You do have to be really good at her to like get that solid damage. Obviously shields, mitigation, they'll shut you down real quick anyways with those crits. So she definitely belongs in the B. Playable, not great, or sorry, not broken, but not bad either. And she's gonna earn that B tier slot. Now Kiriko, cleanse. I think I'm gonna probably put Kiriko. She's pretty oppressive. She's pretty oppressive right now. Double Suzu is still really good. Clone is still really good. Crossing guard can absolutely change games completely by slowing enemy teams down. Kiriko, cleanse, it's just always good. Cleanse is just always good. She's got great mobility, great damage potential, great survivability, great utility. So she's, if not S, Kiri is probably A. I'm a little iffy on putting her on S tier because I haven't really seen her be like a must pick every game. But she, when you get a good Kiri player on the enemy team, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it. And it's gonna be very frustrating. Lucio, this one's tough. I don't see enough people playing Lucio right now, because he did receive a lot of buffs. I don't see Lucio ever. I've seen a couple. Some do pretty good. Some do pretty bad. I just don't think there's enough info, and I think it's because Lucio just doesn't have enough builds right now, and he probably just does suck right now. So he's gonna be our first D tier, which he lines up with the color coordination perfectly here. Love that. He's our first D tier, mainly due to the fact that nobody's playing him anymore because they kind of gutted a lot of the stuff that he had. So this is, I'm gonna put him in D just because lack of information right now, and obviously if I don't see him, that means something globally is happening to where nobody wants to play him. So I'm going to trust the Lucio players in that one. All right, going on to Mercy. Obviously we see Mercy all the time. It's the same problem in Stadium with Mercy is normal watch. Any DPS that is good with a Mercy is broken. And it's the same thing going on with everything else. Mercy with Ashe. Actually, no, she's going up in S. Mercy and Ashe, broken. Mercy and Cassidy, broken. Mercy and Freya, broken. Mercy and Soldier, pretty broken. And this is kind of the problem that we have. Mercy and Pharah obviously can be an issue too. It's the same issue we have with normal watch, is that any hero that is good is broken with Mercy. Now Mercy inherently does not mean that she's up in the S category. It's her potential to combo with so many different DPS if you know how to play Mercy probably with them, or if you have really good DPS, it just scales to the point where they just run lobbies. And it's the potential that I'm really looking at here with Mercy is belonging in the S category. There's a reason we see her all the time outside of people just liking playing Mercy. She's also a really solid pick. Res is strong. Damage boost on crazy DPS is overpowered. And that's why she's going to be going up in the S category. I've been seeing a lot of Moira players lately. Good damage, good utility. They can earn a lot of credits, and I think people, when they see Moira get a lot of credits, they think she must be OP. I don't think she's that great. I think she's earning even the A tier slot right now. She's a good solid pick, but I don't think like her inherently is going to be turning games that much. From what I feel is that she does get solid value. She's a reliable pick, but she's not turning the games that often as much as other heroes can. So I'm going to be putting Moira in the B tier here as far as heroes go. Zenyatta. This is a tough one. This is a tough one because I do love my Zenyatta builds. I don't see enough people going on the flank with Zenyatta. I'm just going to say that. How people usually play him is just like normal Zenyatta. Discord the tank, spam some damage, get some healing. And I don't really see that much value. It doesn't mean I'm putting him here yet. I don't really see... That's just not successful. If you can flank really well with him, I do think he's really strong that way and probably would earn him the B tier. But I think for the average player and how they play Zenyatta, I might still put him in the D, because what I see is Zenyatta, you can be really tanky. No. I'm gonna put him in C. Yeah, no, I just agree with myself. If you get a tank Yatta and there's nothing you can really shoot, like let's say they're running a bunch of flyers and then you have like the tank Yatta that just doesn't die, he can get a lot of value. Which those scenarios can be pretty good and feel really oppressive. So I don't think he's as bad as Lucio. Yeah, I don't think he deserves to be right next to Lucio right now. So we're gonna throw him there. Hazard, he was pretty S tier for a while. I think he's all right now. He can still be pretty good. I don't know if I would have put him in S tier last season. I think a lot of other people would have. Probably would have put him in A, and I think he's just a little bit worse right now, which I'm not just trying to fill in these gaps, but I do think he is probably a B tier tank just because there's so much, especially with Freya Mercy right now, can absolutely delete this guy. Cassidy being really good with stuns and Hazard relying so much on mobility right now. Like the things that are meta are kind of what's pushing him down a little bit. The things that are really good, right? Like Orisa, Cassidy, Freya, Soldier, even Brig, right? And Ashe burning through his armor, Sig with a rock. Like the things that are meta right now is what forcing him down into the B. I think if these were meta, he'd probably be up in the A again. But he's going to be going up in B. Tracer, I think she's D. Every Tracer player I know that is playing is struggling. I rarely see Tracers carrying Stadium games right now. I think she belongs in the D category. She's poopy doo-doo shoes, has really limited build diversity, and is just tough. It's just tough to win. In Stadium specifically right now is pretty tough. Sojourn, happily, I can put in probably the C category. A little bit better than Tracer. Not that much of a carry, though. I haven't really seen that many good Sojourn players. If I do, they have a Mercy pocket, and they're just railing the team, and like you can build against that. I don't think she's like a really good pick. If you're a Sojourn player, you're probably going to play Freya instead, and just do the same thing and get more value with half the effort. So Sojourn, I'm going to put probably in the C right now. Not super great, which I'm fine with that. I am absolutely fine with that. Wu Yang. This one, it's kind of weird. I just got done making a Wu Yang build, and he is a lot of fun. I don't think he's earned the D tier just yet. I don't think he's as bad as Tracer, and I don't think he's as bad as Lucio. So he's probably going to go up in the C along with Sojourn. I think it's a little early to tell. The build that we just came up with is actually, in my opinion, very strong. But I don't think he's earned like a B or an A just yet. Because he can get really heavily countered pretty quickly against Dive. So I'm going to put him up in the C. And we'll call it there. Let's see. Time will tell where he moves from there. Torb. I hate to put Torb in D, but like I feel like Torb's win rate right now is just not great. It's not great. You can get value on Torb. You can play a good Torb game, but I can't remember any game where someone said that like I felt like the Torb was the reason that they won or the Torb carried. And for that reason alone, the fact that he can get some value, but he's not. It's the same thing as Moira, but like Torb has less diversity and he can get hard countered immediately. Like, he can just get shut down so quick. Moira, on the other hand, can't really get shut down. She can play into whatever she wants to move around. Torb is the same as far as value, but he can get like absolutely shut down so quick. So I'm gonna put Torb right on the D. It's a tough one for me to do because I feel like I want to put him up with the C right now, but he's definitely not as good as everybody here. I would pick Mei before Torb. I would pick Pharah before Torb. I personally wouldn't pick Genji because I suck at Genji, but I would recommend Genji players pick before Torb. All these heroes I would pick before Torbjorn right now. So I got to push him down to the D. Now, finally, Doomfist. This is our mystery pick right now. This is our mystery pick. He could be trash. He could be C. He could be B. He could be A. He could be S. So I'm going to put him in B for now. Let's talk about it. There are two Doomfist players. There are ones that you can't do anything about, and there are ones that you can't do anything about. Either they're on the enemy team or your team. either they're running the absolute it's the enemy Doomfist, they're running the game and there's nothing you can do about it, or they're on your team and they're not running the game and they're feeding their brains out and there's nothing you can do about it, or vice versa. Obviously, you know what I mean? Like, I've been on the receiving end of Doom. The problem is, I think a lot of people are playing Doom right now that don't know how to play Doom. It's skewing my opinion on him to make him seem bad. Like, I honestly right now would probably put him in C at best. But I think that's because there's a lot of people playing Doom right now that should not be playing Doom right now, myself included. You know, I tried playing Doom for a couple days. You know, I played him for like 10 hours straight. I was like, dude, I'm not good enough to play Doom right now in Stadium. There's too much CC. There's too much stuff, especially if I'm not familiar with the hero. Now, if you are good at Doom, you can definitely do a lot. You can do a lot of the heavy lifting. He definitely doesn't belong in the S right now. Maybe A. Probably I'm going to keep him in B though right now. This is definitely a B level tank. Again, this is going to be a time will tell as he kind of moves ups and down, but he definitely has more impact than Wu Yang right now as far as the new releases go. But it's still kind of up in the air. This guy can really get dunked on pretty quick. It can also be really hard to deal with them if they know what they're doing. And again, this is coming from like some like master MMR-ish area matches. So that's what I see from Doomfist right now. This is the tier list. I definitely agree with these three being our S tiers right now. These are the big ones. If I see a matchup with like Sig, Mercy, and Ashe, I know it's going to be a lot of damage. It's going to be really hard to deal with. So if you're looking for some really good solid picks, that is it. Let me know what you think of the tier list. Let me know what your picks are below in the comments. And come join me live as we kind of play some Stadium and talk about these and kind of experience these games. We can talk about where all these heroes belong and what kind of builds we're looking at. Again, if you're looking for any Stadium builds, like the ones that have been tried, tested by a verified source, which I'll just call myself. I've played a lot of Stadium. I know which builds get value. I know which ones aren't getting value. You're always going to get a build from me that gets value. And I explain it. I break it down for you. So make sure to subscribe if you guys want to see that. I'm posting them almost daily, new builds that you guys can try out for yourselves without having to go through all the experimentation yourself. Save yourself some time. All right. And you can always go check out my channel. Search in your hero name. Just search this person, Stadium build, and you'll see my video right there. You guys can check them out. All right. That's it for the tier list. We'll see you guys on the next Stadium video. Thanks for watching. My name is Spooky. Have a good one. Peace.